attachment begets attachment, right? If a person grows up in a secure attachment, you're most likely to attach well in your adult relationships, because it is that template. So not only are we, protecting our children, giving them all sorts of great wiring to grow from, we're actually helping them have the right stuff in order to have successful relationships in their future. One of the things that's absolutely stunning to me in the program that we're doing, because we are collecting data, but frankly we haven't had anybody come and study us yet, although I'm like, come on PhD student, come and study us, right? Because I looked into getting myself studied, my program studied, and to have an independent study come in and do it was like about $25,000 for me to get somebody to come in and study my program, right? And I was like, okay, I won't do that. I like to have a paycheck this year, So, but it's just but we collected data, right? And the data that we have, which is so interesting, is that the families that we work with, there's disrupted attachments. Oh my gosh, the percentage of people where they have disrupted attachments in their past is very strong. At least one parent often has some sort of disruption of a family relationship in their own past, right? So it's very interesting how this is multi-generational as well.
That's because we read the section 211, and section 211, it shows like both parents, their childhood and everything that happens to them, and it's often like it's the same thing that they're often doing to their kids.
We have a case that Ida and I are both working on right now, and I mean it's really sad, really frustrating case in a lot of ways, but it's one of the parents has they both had very impaired attachments with their parents, their actual parents, and now trying to get them to get the impact of that, in particular one of the parents, and how it is affecting, and of course there's attachment disruption right now. One of the kids is completely rejected the other one and doesn't want to go. And to get the most wounded parent to acknowledge and understand the impact has been very hard, right? We keep trying.
It's to the point that the child doesn't talk in sessions often with us, but it's like the parents who has control over that. So there's a limited number of things that we could do if one of the parents is not letting the child let go or accept the separation.
And well, and in that case, the parents stuck back in the separation themselves. But the thing is too is that with this particular case, one of our concerns is it's a disrupted attachment for sure with one of the parents. But the child, when the child does talk, is saying, actually both of my parents are just a mess and I don't really have anything want to do with anything. And that kid is, how old is that kid? 10. When you're 10 and you're starting to say, I lost all faith in both of my parents, that's not good. Yes.
I'm just wondering, so if a child loses their parent, the parent passes away when they're very young, so don't necessarily know how well their attachment was prior, would that be considered disruptive attachment?
Well, it is. It's an incredible law. It is the most significant. The second most, so I will repeat the question, right? Like if somebody loses a parent from a death, right? Is that considered a disrupted attachment? Well, it's certainly considered, one of the greatest attachment wounds you can have, because it is a loss. There are ways to work with that and heal that to the best that you can, because one of the things that helps us with understanding attachment, the deeper attachment goes, the more it is not dependent on proximity, right? So you really can love somebody for the rest of your life and still feel the love of them, even when they're no longer here. And if you have people in your life that support that, that can be a very healing thing. So a lot of people, I don't know if any have lost parents, but if you have, you can still feel their love and care for you. So if that's handled well, that relationship still continues to nurture, right?
Or if the child was too young, at least if they have one secure attachment with their parent, their current parent that they have, this is still amazing. And the difference between high conflict divorce and somebody losing someone, high conflict divorce, it's often one of the parents trying to diss the other parent or putting the child in the middle of the conflict, so that wounds the attachment way more. because the child has to choose between parents, and this is not something children should do.
Right. So Ida's absolutely right in the sense, even with the loss of a parent, you know, it can still remain a secure attachment and a nourishing aspect of your life. But that was a great question. Thank you.